This conference will now be recorded.
Now, so in the previous session, we have discussed about the SOQL queries. And we have discussed how can we write the SOQL query in order to fetch the records from the objects, and how can we represent those records on the debug log file we have discussed. So where we have prepared a method, inside that method we have written in SOQL query, which is a static SOQL query. Once the query has been written, then I'm going to be executing this SOQL query, because this is a static SOQL query which will be executing automatically, and then it will be returning the result in the form of a list collection. So it is returning a list of account records, so that I'm storing those records inside that list collection. And once the records are available inside this collection, then I'm iterating that collection from starting to ending by using enhanced for loop, and then we can represent each and every record on my debug log file. This is what we did. Now, let's take one more example, and then I will show you a different style. A different way of writing a SOQL query, I will show you. Same static SOQL, okay, some more optimized. Okay, I will show you. Totally 3 ways I will show you. The first way already we have discussed. We are writing this SOQL query, storing the result inside the collection, and then we are representing the records on the debug log file by iterating the collection from starting to end. Now, so let's take one more small use case right now. Okay, how can we implement it? Let's take a small use case. Now, write an Apex program to fetch all the contact records from the object and represent on the debug log file. I want to fetch all the contact records available inside the contact object from the object, and I want to represent those records on the debug log file. Then how can we do this? Now let's see practically in this case. So let's see how can we implement, and then I will show you how to optimize this code. Now, so let's go to the developer console and then open that class which we have prepared in the yesterday's session, because I want to write those methods in the same class. Now, let me open that class. Open. My class name is database utility. Sorry, not database utility. No, database helper. This is a class which I have prepared. Now I'm preparing one more method inside this class. Because you know that in a single class you can prepare n number of methods also. I'm preparing a method public static void get all contacts. I'm preparing a method with the name get all contacts. How to write this query? You know, same story, no change. Select ID of the contact record, first name of the contact, last name, email, phone, fax, title, from contact. I'm collecting all the contact records available inside that contact object, and then I would like to store. How can we store these contact records? So how many records it will return? Multiple, I don't know. So that here I'm defining a list collection. List of what? Contact. Why contact? Because this query is returning contact records. So that here I'm going to be preparing a contacts collection. I'm preparing a contacts collection, and then I'm storing the result inside that collection. And then, so once the collection is available, that means once the query has been executed, it will collect all the contact records available inside this object, and those records will be storing inside this collection. Once the records are available inside the collection, then I'm iterating this collection over here from starting to end. For each and every contact, CON from LST contact. That means here I'm going to be iterating this collection from starting to ending. So whatever the collection that we have, this collection I'm iterating from starting to ending. Each and every element will be of type contact. So I'm collecting every contact record. I'm storing inside this variable, and then I would like to represent. System.debug contact ID is, I want to show that CON.ID. I want to show the contact name. CON.contact name is, I want to show contact dot first name plus I'm giving one space contact dot last. I'm going to be adding both first name and the last name. I would like to represent. And then I would like to show the title. Okay, designation. Designation is, I want to show the contact dot title. I want to show the email ID. Email ID is, I would like to specify contact dot email. I want to show the contact number, nothing but phone number. Contact number is contact dot phone. I want to show that fax number. Fax number is contact dot fax. Now, so I would like to collect all these contact records, and then I'm representing these contact records. Now, I would like to show a line break between each and every contact record, so that I'm going to be drawing a line break over here. Now, so now here this is what the general process, regular process we use to do. Like, I'm going to be preparing this SOQL query. Through this SOQL query, I'm collecting all the contact records available inside the object. Those records I'm storing inside my collection. Once the records are available inside the collection, then I'm going to be iterating that collection from starting to ending by using enhanced for loop. And then I'm representing each and every record Okay, and the debug log file. So now here I'm executing this piece of code. Let me save this code, Control S to save that code. Now let me execute this code. Now I'm preparing this method class, and then I'm indicating the method get all contacts. Let's execute. Click on this debug only checkbox. We can see each and every contact record available inside my contact object also. Every contact record we can collect, and then we can able to represent over here. Now, so it is working fine, no issues. Now tell me, do we have any way to optimize this code now? Think about any optimization technique. Think about, do we have any chance to reduce the number of lines of code? Do we have any way to reduce the number of lines of code?
Inside for loop, we can
Loop, sir.
just inside for loop system.debug, record is con, just con.
Okay.
The reference that is enough to get all the things.
Okay. Any more thing?
Sir, we can use one more list inside the for loop and one record in that, and we can reiterate that.
Why? Because already the records are there in the collection. Then why should we go for another list collection? No need of that. If I'm having one more list, it will be keep on occupying some more memory. It will be occupying more memory, which will make my application performance degraded.
And
now,
even like, is it compulsory we need to provide this first name, last name, all those things? Just ID or first name is enough, right?
But sometimes we need some more columns also. I need all these columns as per the client requirement.
Okay, just to show.
Yes.
Okay, display. Okay.
Now, let's see here in this case. So now here what we did, I have prepared one SOQL query. This is the SOQL query which I have prepared. Now this SOQL query is returning the records in the form of list collection. So I have stored this result inside my collection. And then this collection I am going to be passing to my for loop to iterate this collection from starting to end. Now tell me, in this case, instead of using this collection, can I pass this entire SOQL query in this place? Can I directly write this SOQL query inside this for loop? So that if I'm writing this SOQL query in this particular place, then we no need to use any collection, right? Yes. If the collection is not available, then it won't occupy any memory, right? Yes. Without consuming the memory, we can able to get the records and we can represent. In this case, memory will be reduced. Application performance will be increased. So that here, whenever we are going to writing this SOQL query, so now the second style is whatever the SOQL query you would like to prepare, just write this SOQL query inside this file. Then you no need to write this statement. Okay, you no need to write this statement. So in this case, you can raise a question, sir, suppose if I'm writing this SOQL query inside this for loop, how many times it will execute? It will execute only once. Okay, only once. So in this case, what it will do, upon executing this for loop, first of all, it will execute this SOQL query. Whatever the query that you are written, this query will be getting executed. It will collect all the records, placing inside the temporary memory. It will use the temporary memory. In this temporary memory, all the records will be getting placed. From that one, collect every record. It will be placing inside that contact variable, and it will be representing this record information. And then second time it will go to that temporary memory, collect the second record, placing inside the variable representing this record. Like that here, these records will be keep on iterating till end of that collection. This is how we can able to write that SOQL query inside your implementation. So that what happened, number of characters will be getting reduced. Memory also will be getting reduced so that we can be able to make our application performance improve. This is the second way, this is the second style of writing SOQL queries. So upon preparing this SOQL query, we can write that SOQL query in this for loop also. So it will be executing once, and then it is going to be collecting the data, storing in the temporary memory. From there, it will iterate that records from starting to ending, collect every record and placing inside this variable, and then we can able to represent that record on your debug file. This is how we can able to implement the SOQL query as a second style. This is the second way of writing SOQL queries inside your Apex program. Now let me execute this piece of code. Click on execute, see the results. Then also you can see the same results over here, no change at all. Here also we can see, select the debug only checkbox, we can see all the records one by one, one by one, one by one. Okay, now. So this is the second way of writing SOQL queries inside your file. Now, let me place this code. Next, I will show you one more style, because when you go to the real time, this is how the people will use. Okay, you should be aware of all the things. Okay, why? Because okay, generally nobody will discuss all these things. Simply they will tell you the first mechanism which I have discussed yesterday, like this. How to write the query inside that for loop. Okay, nobody will discuss all these things. But when you go to the people to the real time, they will get confused. Why they have written like this? Can we write like this or not? The people will get confused. Okay, so you should be aware of all the things before going to the job. Now, that's what I'm giving each and every example one by one. Next, third one. Take one more small use case. Write an Apex program to fetch all the case records from the object and store them into a map collection. And store them into a map collection and represent the records on the debug log file. And represent the records on the debug log file. So now what I want to do is, I want to write an Apex program. Through this Apex program, I would like to collect all the case records available inside the object. That means from the case object. And I want to store those records into a map collection. That is my requirement mainly. And from there, I want to represent the records on my debug log file. Then how can we do this? So now let's see practically how can we write an SOQL query in order to collect the records from the object, and then how can we store them into a map collection. Now, so let me show you that here. How can we do this? Suppose if you want to store the case records inside a map collection, then first of all we have to define a map collection to do this. How to define a map collection? You know, map is a key value pair collection. Okay, where key should be always unique, value may be unique, or value may be duplicate. So in this case, what we can do, whenever if you want to store some case records, now from this one, which one is unique one? ID. So I want to make that ID as the key and then value, nothing but complete case record. So case. I'm indicating map cases equals to new map of ID comma case. This is the map collection which I have prepared. In this map collection, I want to store all the case records because this map collection can store a collection of cases information where the case ID will be the key and the complete case record will be the value. Okay, case ID will be the key and the complete case record will be the value. Then how can we store that case records inside this map collection? Okay, now let me show you practically in this case. Now, let's see. Now, let me prepare an example. Public static void get all cases map. Get all cases map. I want to collect all the case records and then I want to store them into a map collection. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically. Now, so in this case here, I'm using a map collection, map of ID comma case. Map cases equals to new map of ID comma case. I'm creating a map collection which can able to store a collection of case records inside it. I'm creating a map collection which can store a collection of case records in the form of key value pair collection where the map collection key case record ID will be the key and the complete case record will be the value. Now, then how can we do this one? How can we collect that case records? In order to collect the case record, we have to write some SOQL query. How to write that? We need to write the query. Select the ID of the case, case number, priority, status, origin, reason, type, subject, from case object. This is how we are going to preparing this SOQL code. Now, this is how we are going to preparing that SOQL query to get that case records. But now what I want to do, I want to store those case records inside a map collection. Then what we can do? Okay, then what we can do? In this case, let's copy this SOQL query, place inside this map collection constructor. That's it. Simple. Done. That's it. Inside this map collections constructor, we can write this SOQL query. Then what it will do, now upon preparing the object of this collection, first of all, it will execute this SOQL query, collect the records, place inside the temporary memory. From that one, it will be collecting every case record, and that case record will be adding inside my map collection, okay, in the form of the key value pair, where the case record ID will be storing in the keys place, and the complete case record information will be storing inside this values place. Now, so now here in this case, whenever I'm going to be writing this SOQL query, previously what happened in the first case, I have written the SOQL query like this normal mechanism. In the second case, I have written the SOQL query inside the function. In the third case, I'm writing this SOQL query inside the map collection. Inside the map collections constructor, I'm going to be writing this SOQL query to collect all the cases. What objects data you would like to fetch, we can collect it, and then we can able to write that SOQL query inside this map collection class constructor, and then we can able to store inside that map collection. So we can store that case records inside that map collection, where ID of the case will be the key and the complete case record will be the value. Yeah, tell me.
Please tell me if I'm wrong. At the time of learning SOQL query, I remember you have mentioned that always use a list to get the data from the SOQL query. Never use map or set.
Right. But sometimes I want this collection, I want this query data inside a map collection. Generally, whenever I'm executing this SOQL query, the query will be returning in the form of list. Okay. Now, let me show you. Forget about this list map collection, for example. I will show you general mechanism, and then I will show you, okay, the optimized mechanism which I have discussed right now. So let me do this one first. So now in this case here, let me show you that the normal mechanism which we used to do generally. I want that case records, and those case records I want inside a map collection. Then what we can do generally? Now let me explain. Okay. Now, so in this case, to store the case records in the map collection, we are defining a map collection here. Map of ID comma case. Cases map equals to new map of ID comma case. So I have prepared a map collection which can store some collection of case records. Now it is empty. Okay, no case records are there inside my map collection. Now collection is empty now. Now my requirement is what? I want to place some case records inside this map collection. Then what we can do? We have to write one SOQL query. Select ID of that case, status of the case, type, origin, reason, subject, from case object. These case records, what we can do, we will be storing inside a list collection. List of case, lst cases equals to, I'm collecting these case records from my SOQL query, and then those records I'm storing inside my list collection. So the case records are there in my list collection, but I want in the form of map. Then what we need to do, once the records are available inside this list, we have to collect every record. We have to add this record to that map collection one by one, one by one, one by one. That means we have to copy. We have to copy each and every record from list collection to map collection here, because list collection format is different, map collection format is different. List collection behavior is different, map collection behavior is different. So I want to collect each and every case record from this list collection. I want to add every record to my map collection. Then what we can do in this case here, I need to write. For example, if the LST cases is not empty, that means if the collection is not empty, then I want to collect each and every case record. For each and every case, CS from LST cases, nothing but I would like to collect each and every case record from the cases collection. Then I want to add this case record to my map. How to add the element to the map collection? We can specify cases map dot put method. In this put method, what we need to supply? Key and the value. What is that key? Case record ID. What is the value? Case record. Where is this case record? This is in CS. How to collect the ID of this case record? CS dot ID. And then how to pass the case record? CS. This is how. This is what the process we used to do. Okay, this is what the process we used to do. That means what? We have to collect the records from the object by using this SOQL query, store them into a collection. What is that collection? List collection. And then collect that each and every element inside this collection by using this enhanced for loop. Add each and every record to my map collection over here. Okay, add each and every record to my map collection by using put method. Now in this case, now tell me how many lines of code is there? 1 line, 2 line, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 lines of code is there. If you want to reduce this one, this is what the general process the people used to follow, but there is an optimized way. If you want to reduce this number of lines of code, then just you can copy this SOQL query, paste inside your map. That's it. This now, whenever I'm writing this query in this one, this entire process will be doing by Salesforce for you internally by default. You no need to write this code. That entire process will be doing by Salesforce for you automatically by default. This is the internal concept. Got the point now? If I'm not writing like this, then whatever the code that I have written right now, okay, whatever the code that I have written right now, this entire code you have to write manually. But in this case, what will happen? Now this collection is also having same records. This collection is also having same records. So 2 copies are there. The same records are available in list also, map also. Then in this case, it is occupying the memory 2 times over here. So memory will be consuming more. It will be impacting on the application performance. Okay. So to reduce these many number of lines of code, simply we can able to avoid this one, write that SOQL query inside your map collections constructor. That's it, simple process. These are some optimization techniques we are following in the real time. Okay, now.
Sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Now. So once the records are available inside my map collection, then I would like to iterate this map collection. Okay, I can able to show. How can we display that? Collect each and every record from my collection. How to collect for each and every case record? I want to collect that cases. Only the case record I want here. So only the case. Where only the case records are available where inside this values place. How can we collect these values? Just by using a method. Cases map dot values. There is a method called as values method. Cases map dot values. Nothing but from this map collection, don't collect the ID part over here. Just collect only the value part. Value part means case record. So collect only the cases over here, and then from that one collect each and every case and then display the case information. System.debug case record details. CS. That's it. That's it. Over. So this is the third style of writing SOQL query. In the first way, I have written the SOQL query straightforward. In the second way, I have written that SOQL query in the for loop. In the third way, I have written the SOQL query inside that map collection constructor. These are the 3 styles which we used to follow in the real time upon writing this SOQL query. Okay, don't get confused. All are same, no change. But depends upon your application requirement, we can use to follow any one of this mechanism. Suppose if you want those records in the form of map, then go with this format. If you want in the form of list, then go with that list collection format.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
What could be the best example where we should be using a map collection?
Now, I will show you in the further classes here. Okay, because in some cases we need to collect the data, and then where I need to collect every record here based on the ID I would like to fetch. Suppose here, for example, I'm having a record ID. Based on that ID, I would like to fetch. So at that time here, these are some list of cases are available. Based on a case ID, I want to pick up that case record from my collection. So at that time, we can pass the ID to my map collection. We can able to get that case record over there, and then we can fetch it. That possibility is there.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
so while you are saying, we can exactly understand like what is the logic and how it is, but how should we know like how to build the logic for different? This is one scenario. Maybe we will get some other scenarios or some other requirement.
Because
So
yeah, when moving forward, I will be giving some different use cases to you. There, okay, we'll see how to use that. Which format we can use, we'll see each and every functionality. I will tell you. I will give you some plenty of examples in all the program, in all the features. like as in Apex programming. So when coming to the Visual Force, triggers also, batch programming, schedule programming, everywhere I will be giving some different use cases. There we'll see in which scenario we can go with this list collection directly, and then for loop directly, and then map collection also. Both everything I will show you with the different use cases. Okay,
Okay, sir.
but this is the basic way we use to write the code. Then where we need to use this format, where we need to use that format, we'll see in the further use cases also, the multiple examples. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, so now let me execute this piece of code. I would like to collect those records here. And then I'm going to be executing this SOQL query, get all cases map. Okay, I'm invoking this method, the class name dot method name, get all cases map. Click on execute, and we can see the result. Whatever the case records are available inside my case object, all the case records will be getting visible one by one, one by one, one by one. These are the case records. This is the case ID, case status, origin, and the subject. This is the case ID, status, type, origin, reason, subject. All this information will be available over here. This is how we can able to show each and every case record in one shot. This is one case record, this is the second case record, third case record, fourth case record. Depends upon your requirement, we can able to represent this. Okay, now this is the third way of writing SOQL queries. Now, so now, as of now, we have discussed how can we write this SOQL query, and then how can we get the data from the objects by using multiple mechanisms. Three ways we have discussed now. Now let's see how can we apply the classes. Whenever I'm fetching the data, no need to fetch all the records available inside the object. We can able to fetch only the required records also by using the various classes. So what are the classes has been given by Salesforce? Salesforce has given the various classes like as where class, and then group by, having, order by, limit, offset, all rows, for update. All these classes has been given by Salesforce as part of this SOQL query. Then how can we apply each and every class? What is the functionality of each and every class? Now let's see practically in this case. Okay, now. So let's see that classes here one by one. Like as part of this SOQL query, I have given that syntax. In this one, okay, you know how to write this SOQL query, how to fetch the data. As of now, we know. Then how to apply these classes? Now let's see practically. Like we'll see each and every class where group by, having, order by, limit, offset, all rows, for update, everything we'll see one by one. Okay, now first one. The first class, let's see the limit class. So what is this limit class? Now let me explain. Now, for example, assume that I have a table. This is my account table, for example. In my table, I have 100 records. In my table, I'm having 100 records. I'm having an account table. In my table, I'm having 100 records. So I would like to fetch the records from my object. For that one, I'm writing this SOQL code. Select ID of the account, name, rating, industry from account. So now tell me, if I'm writing this query, how many records it will return? 100 records. Why? Because in the table, whatever the records are available, it will be returning all those records up to maximum of 50,000. Maximum of 50,000 records the query can return. But in my table, I'm having only 100. So all the 100 will be getting visible to you. So the query will return all the 100 records which are available inside your object. So because the SOQL query is having the capability to return maximum of 50,000. But in this case, upon writing this SOQL query, so now when I'm executing this one, I don't want 100 records, I want only 2 records. Of course, the table is having 100 records. I don't want 100, I want only 2 records. I want only 5 records. I want only 10 records. I want to restrict how many number of records the query can return. That I want to restrict that. In this case, we are using the help of limit class. Like for example, come to a scenario. Assume that I'm having a bank account. I'm having a bank account. I'm using that bank account since almost 2 years. I did so many thousands of transactions. So today I went to an ATM center and selected the option like as mini statement. Okay, mini statement for my bank account. Then what it will display? It will give you a small slip to you. In that small slip, what it will do? All the transactions which you have made in the last 2 years? No. It will give the recent 10 transactions information. What are the 10 transactions that you have indicated are performed recently? Those recent 10 transactions information will be given to you on the transaction. That means what? Even though I'm having some thousands of transaction entries, but it is giving only the recent 10 transactions only. That means what? They have indicated when they click on that mini statement, don't give all the transaction detail, give the recent 10 transactions only. So, like the similar way, even though my table may be having 100 records, I don't want 100. I want only 1 record. I want only 10 records. I want only 5 records. Depends upon your requirement. I want to restrict. Then how can we do that? For that reason, we are using the help of limit class. So limit class is used to restrict the number of records to be written by SOQL query. Generally, SOQL query will return all the records till maximum of 50,000. But I don't want all, I want only, okay, I want only some specific number of records. So now here in this case, whenever if you want to fetch some specific number of records from the object, then we have to use the help of this limit class. So if you want to fetch only some 5 records, then you can indicate along with the query, we can specify limit space 5. So it will return only 5 records. Even though you are having 1000 records inside your object, it returns only 5. Suppose if I'm giving limit 1, it returns only 1 record over here. Okay, this is how we can restrict the number of records to be returned with the SOQL query. Now let's see. Now in this case, let me give that note file. Now, this class is used to restrict the number of records to be get returned by the SOQL query. Okay, this class is used to restrict the number of records to be get written by the SOQL query. And the syntax is we can specify limit, can indicate the integer value. How many number of records you want to return? For example, I'm indicating limit 1. I'm indicating limit 50. Like that, we can able to specify that here. Okay, like that we can able to specify that. That possibility is available. This is how we are going to be writing this limit class. Okay, now, so let me show you a practical example. Take a small use case. Write an Apex program to fetch only 10 account records from the object. I want to fetch only 10 account records from the object here. I don't want all. Inside my account object, I may be having more number of records, but I don't want all. Only 10 records I want. So to get only those 10 records from my account object, I would like to write this SOQL query. Now, so let me write that code by preparing this method. I'm preparing this. Public static void get accounts by limit. Get accounts by limit. I'm going to be indicating some limit class, and then through that limit class, I would like to restrict the number of account records to be written by my SOQL query. If I'm not giving any limit class, then my SOQL query can return maximum of 50,000. Then how can we do that? Now let's see. Now, I'm going to be writing this. List of account. LST accounts equals to, I'm writing this. Select ID of the account, name, rating, industry, annual revenue, active status from account. Then what is the limit over here? We can specify limit class. Limit space 5. How many you want to fetch? 10. So I'm indicating 10. That's it. Once the records have been getting collected, 10 records have been collected, all those 10 records will be placing inside my collection. From there, we can able to iterate that. For each and every account record, ACC from LST accounts. That means I'm collecting each and every account record I want to show. Complete record in a single row. Account record is, I want to indicate ACC. I'm collecting each and every account record from the collection, and then I would like to represent on my debug log file. Now, so now let me execute this method here. I'm invoking the method class name dot method name. Click on execute. Even though we may be having some more number of records inside my object, it will be returning only 10 records. So select the debug only. It is returning only 10 records. Okay, only 10 records. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 records. It returns only the specified number of records. Even though you are having more number of records, it won't return. Suppose, for example, if I'm giving this limit like as some 2, let's save this code by using Ctrl S and then execute this code. Now it will return how many records now? Only 2 records because I have given that limit value as 2. Select the debug only checkbox. It is indicating only 2 records here, not all. Which two records it will indicate? We don't know. Dynamically, it will pick up that. Randomly, it will pick up the records. It will display those two records, not recent records. If you want some recent records, we have other alternative mechanisms. We'll see. Okay. Now, this is how we are going to restricting the number of records. Now, this is one thing. Now, sometimes I want to prepare an SOQL query. Only the query part I want. That's it. I don't want the entire thing. Okay. I want only the query part. How can we do that? Now, let me explain. I'm indicating this. Just write only the query part. Write an SOQL query to fetch only one user record. From the object. In my object, I'm having some 5 users are available, but I don't want 5. I want one user information. That's it. I want only one user information from my user object. Then how can we do that? How can we get only one record? Now, in this case, I'm fetching that user record. Select ID of the user, first name, last name, title, department, username, email from user. How many records we need? We need only one record. For that one, what we can do? We are using that limit 1. Okay, limit 1. So this query will returns only one user record, not multiple. So now tell me, if the query returns only one record, how can we store? By defining a single variable. It is returning what record? User record. To store the user record, I'm defining a variable user type. User record. I'm defining a variable with the name user, which is of type user record. Here the variable name which I have defined over here. So it can store that user record, and then we can display each and every field value directly. That possibility is there. So that already told you, if the query returns only one record, because limit 1 means what? It is returning only one record. If the query returns only one record, we can store that record by defining a variable of that associated type. Now, let me give one more requirement. Write an SOQL query to fetch 10 lead records from the object. Then what we can do, if it is more than one, we need to store inside the list collection. Okay, list of lead. LST leads equals to select ID of the lead, first name of the lead, last name, company, title, status from lead object, and then I'm giving the limit as 10. That's it. So we can able to collect how to display the record information, you know. Okay, displaying this information is same story, no change at all. Use the for loop, iterate this one, display the same thing, no change at all. But here I'm displaying account record, there we need to display read record. That's it, nothing different. Displaying this records is very okay, same, but only the difference is query part. This query part will be the different, depends upon the requirement we have to indicate. Okay, now this is how we are going to preparing the SOQL query by using limit class. Clear? Now, the next one. Next one. The next class is all rows class. All rows class. What do you mean by all rows class? All rows class. All rows class in the sense all the rows. All the rows means what? Including deleted records also. Okay, including deleted records also. All rows class is used to fetch the records from the object, including deleted records also. Generally, for example, assume that I'm having a table. In my table, 10 records are there. Now I'm writing an SOQL query. Whenever I'm writing this SOQL query, it returns all the 10 records to me. All the 10 records. Now, I'm having some 10 records are there inside the table. Upon executing this SOQL query, it is returning 10 records to me. Now, now. So I'm writing this SOQL query. The query will returns all the 10. And then I have deleted some 5 records. I have deleted some 5 records. Now, okay, after deleting the 5 records, when you try to execute this SOQL query, how many records it will return? This SOQL query returns only 5 records. Why? Because 5 records has been deleted. Those will go to the recycle. Okay, those will go to the recycle. Those records will go to the recycle. So you will be getting only 5. But I don't want 5. I want deleted 5 records also. Total 10 records I want. That means the records which are available inside the object, including deleted records also I want. So whenever if you want to get the deleted records, okay, from the object, okay, then we have to use the help of this all rows class. All rows means not only all the records, including deleted records also. Whatever the records are available inside this object, we are collecting all the records and including the deleted records also from the object. We'll see, okay, with the help of this all rows class. So let me give that node point over. By using this class, we can fetch all the records from the object, including deleted records. Including deleted records means what? Which are present in the recycle bin. Okay, which are present in the recycle bin. Okay, that means the records are not older than 15 days. If the records are older than 15 days, those records will be removed permanently. Those will not count. Those will not get back. Only the records which are waiting inside the recycle bin, for the 15 days time period, those records we can fetch by using this all rows class. Then how can we do that here? The syntax. We can specify the SOQL query. Along with that, we can specify all rows. All space rows. Okay. Let's see how can we do that. Now, for example, let's go to a small use case. For example, inside my account object, how many records are available? Let me check it first. 54 records are there. Do we have any records in the recycle bin? Let me check it out. No. Okay, all the records are there inside my account object. Let me get the records here. I'm preparing them. Public static void get accounts. I'm fetching the records. Select ID, name, rating, industry from account. I'm not giving any all rows class. First of all, let me show you how can we get the records, and then what will be the problem, how to solve it by using all rows class. I'm indicating list of account list accounts. I'm fetching this account records from my account object. I want to show how many number of records have been written. System.debug collection size. LST accounts dot size. I'm going to be collecting the size of this collection. I'm not displaying the record because I don't want. I want to get the confirmation of the records, so that I'm displaying the size. So now let me invoke this method. Let's see. I'm executing this method get accounts. So now let's see what is the size right now. Select the debug only. It is indicating 54. Okay, so all the 54 records have been collected. Now from this one, I'm deleting some 4 records. Infosys record I'm deleting here. Click on delete. I'm deleting. Second one, Sai Mohan. One more record I'm deleting. Delete. And then IBM Incorporation. I'm deleting. And the sample, this is one of the record. I'm deleting. 4 records I have deleted. For your confirmation, I will show you the recycle bin also. So go to the recycle bin. 4 records are waiting inside this recycle bin. All are account records only. So now let's execute this SOQL query. What will be the count it will provide to you? Click on execute. Let's see. Now how many records it will return right now? Let's see. What is that collection size now? 50. Deleted 50 records will not return. Only the records which are present inside the object, only those records will be returned to you here. But I want the deleted records also. How? For that reason, along with this query, we have to use a class called as all rows. I'm using this all rows class also. Whenever if you are using this all rows class is going to be collecting the data from the object, including deleted records also. Now let's execute this query. Observe what will happen. Click on execute. See the result right now. What is the result it will provide to you? Debug window. How many records it has written? 54, including deleted records also. So that in order to fetch the deleted records also from the object, we are using the help of all rows class. This is the functionality and this is the specialty of all rows class inside your Apex program. If you want to display the record, then you can display. Okay, whatever the way that you want, we can able to display those records also. We can display for each and every account record, ACC from LST accounts, and then we can display that system.debug account record is ACC. We can able to show that account records also if you want. Now, let me copy this code and paste inside your notepad. Take a use case. Create an Apex program to fetch all the account records from the object, including deleted records. And the execution process. Okay, this is how we are going to be using the limit class and all rows class inside your SOQL. Tomorrow we'll see few more classes. Like we'll see the order by class, offset class, for update class, and the wait class. We'll see a few more classes also in tomorrow's session. Tomorrow we have the session as usual at same timings. Okay, no change in the schedule. Sunday will be the off. Tomorrow we have the session as usual. Okay, now